Let's be real for a second. If you've ever tried to lose weight, you know the struggle, right? The diets, the workouts, and the frustration when nothing seems to work. And then right when you're feeling most defeated, a product like Mitolyn shows up, making some really big promises. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on all of it. The hype, the science, and some of the serious warnings you need to hear. So what's the real deal with Mitolyn? Is this the weight loss breakthrough we've all been hoping for, or is it just another pretty bottle filled with empty promises? That's the big question we're diving into today. We're going to put their claims under the microscope and see what we find. Okay, so Mitolyn's main pitch is that it's not just another diet pill. They claim it's a scientific breakthrough that goes right to the cellular level. It supposedly targets your mitochondria, the tiny little power plants inside your cells. The idea is simple. If you can just fix the engine, the whole system will run better and burn fuel more efficiently. And here's where they really try to sell you on it. The marketing leans heavily on this idea that Harvard scientists discovered the real root cause of a slow metabolism. And what is it? Weak mitochondria. So their logic is if you boost your mitochondria, you'll turn into a fat-burning machine. It sounds super scientific and convincing, right? Maybe a little too convincing? And look at what they're promising here. It's not just about losing weight. They're selling a whole new you. Imagine burning fat while you're just sitting there, having tons of energy all day, not even thinking about cravings, and feeling sharp and focused. It's the absolute dream scenario, and it's an incredibly tempting sales pitch. Then you see something like this, a testimonial from Maria. She says, "I lost 24 pounds. I can't describe the feeling of actually liking what I see in the mirror." Wow, that hits you right in the emotions, doesn't it? Because it's not just about the pounds. It's about that feeling of confidence and self-acceptance. It's a powerful story. Okay, so we've heard the slick marketing and the emotional stories, but what happens when we take all of this and show it to a medical professional? Let's bring in Dr. Brian Young, a naturopathic doctor who actually did a deep dive on Mitolyn. So, what was Dr. Young's verdict? His answer couldn't be more blunt. He says, does Mitolyn work? Absolutely not. It's completely useless for weight loss. Whoa, okay, that is a massive disconnect from everything we just heard. So how did he get from their Harvard-backed claims to that? Well, here's the breakdown. Dr. Young points out that Mitolyn is twisting the science. The study they referenced found a link between low mitochondria and the health problems that lead to weight gain. But that's a classic case of mixing up correlation with causation. Think of it this way. You see firefighters at every fire, but that doesn't mean they're starting them, right? The study suggests low mitochondria is a symptom of the problem, not the cause you can just fix with a pill. All right, so the whole scientific foundation seems pretty shaky. But maybe the all-natural ingredients have some magic of their own, right? Let's take a closer look and see what's actually inside these capsules. And this is where it really starts to fall apart. Dr. Young went through the ingredient list one by one. Mackey berry? No evidence it helps with weight loss. Rhodiola and schizandra? No human evidence. Fucus, the algae? No proof there either. A couple of them might have some super minor benefits for blood sugar, but that leads us to the next big problem. And this is absolutely crucial. Dosage is everything. For those few ingredients that have even a tiny bit of potential, the amounts used in actual scientific studies are way, way higher than what's in a serving of Mitolyn. It's like trying to make a gallon of lemonade with a single drop of lemon juice. Sure, the ingredient is in there, but not nearly enough to do anything. So, what we're seeing here isn't something new. Dr. Young says this fits a very familiar pattern, a classic strategy he calls the supplement marketing playbook. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's how the playbook goes. First, you make a huge, life-changing promise. Second, you reference some complicated-sounding studies, hoping nobody actually reads them. Third, and this is clever, you include a generic diet plan. So if people lose weight, they credit your pill, not their own hard work. And the final step, when enough people start asking for refunds, the company just disappears, only to pop up later with a new name and a new miracle product. But wait, it actually gets worse. The problem isn't just that the product might not work. There's another, much more immediate danger you need to know about, a financial risk that goes way beyond the price of one bottle. Yeah, this is scary stuff. Scammers are creating perfect copies of the official website. They'll trick you with an amazing discount, you put in your credit card details, and bam, they can drain your account. You get no product and you're out a lot of money. This is a huge warning from multiple sources. If you're even considering it, use only the one official website link. Now let's just talk about the cost, because this is wild. Mitolyn is about $60 a month. Dr. Young points out that if you really wanted the ingredients inside, you could just buy them yourself for maybe $2 a month. Or if you wanted a supplement that actually has some research behind it, like berberine, that's about $10. So $60 or $2. It really puts the price into perspective. So this all brings us to Dr. Young's final report card. For effectiveness, an F. For the price, especially compared to the alternatives, another F. Safety gets a C just because these things are so unregulated. And that gives us an overall grade of a big, fat F. So let's just step back and look at the two sides of the story. On one hand, you have the promise, a revolutionary, natural, risk-free breakthrough. And on the other hand, you have the analysis, misleading science, ineffective doses, and a really high price tag. It's like we're talking about two completely different things. In the end, this whole Mitolyn story is about more than just one supplement. It's a perfect example of the world we live in now. We're surrounded by these powerful promises online every single day. So the real question for all of us is, how do we get better at finding the truth? How do we learn to spot the difference between real hope and just really good marketing?